The girl named Anna flees the monastery barefoot, dressed only in a nightgown. She keeps looking over her shoulder as if someone is chasing her. Meanwhile, Jae-ha, dressed in layers and moving cautiously, leaves his house while avoiding surveillance cameras. By nightfall, Anna stumbles into a metro station. Two men on a stakeout spot her, and one begins to follow. Anna rushes to the ticket window and urges the employee to hurry. With her ticket in hand, she runs through the gate and crashes into Jae-ha. She apologizes in Korean, and he asks if she's okay. Relieved to hear her language, she begs for his help. Jae-ha tries to brush her off, but she pleads for him to save her from the man chasing her. Anna hides behind a pillar, but the man following her hears her breathing and calls out to her. She refuses to go with him, so he grabs her as she tries to escape. Jae-ha intervenes, telling Anna to leave. She hides behind another pillar while Jae-ha fights the man. Jae-ha counters his attacks and eventually knocks him unconscious by choking him. Searching the man's pockets, Jae-ha realizes he just attacked a cop. As security is alerted to the disturbance, Jae-ha grabs his belongings. When he exits the platform, Anna is waiting for him. Irritated, he refuses to help her further, despite her pleas. She mentions her powerful father, promising a reward if he takes her to Madrid. Jae-ha isn't interested but briefly agrees before telling her to leave as officers approach. Jae-ha disarms the officers quickly and breaks one's arm. As he makes his way upstairs, he spots Anna in a police car. She calls out to him, but this time he shakes his head and leaves in a taxi, as she sobs. 6 months later, Jae-ha works at a banner advertising warehouse in Seoul. After finishing a mural of a beach, he relaxes with a beer and feeds a stray kitten before taking a nap. As dusk falls, his boss calls, asking him to retighten a large banner due to strong winds. The banner promotes presidential candidate Assemblyman Jang Se-jun, with the slogan, "A Better World for Children." Jae-ha is initially denied entry since it's after hours, but a cleaning lady lets him in, mentioning that the work order came from the madam. He thanks her and reassures her he'll be fine despite the windy night. Securing himself to the roof, he rappels down to fix the banner. Inside the building, Se-jun embraces a young woman and pauses to watch his wife, Choi Eugene, on TV, where she's praised for her popularity and domestic skills. Unbeknownst to Se-jun, his wine has been drugged. Masked men storm the building, overpowering the security guards. As the masked men advance upstairs, their leader reminds them to capture necessary footage, seemingly after evidence of Se-jun's affair. Meanwhile, Jae-ha rappels further down the building and catches sight of Se-jun with his lover. He recognizes Se-jun but pays little attention. Se-jun tells his lover to close the curtains just as the drug takes effect, causing him to collapse. The woman winks at Jae-ha before shutting the curtains. While securing a corner of the banner, Jae-ha spots the cleaning lady and tries to warn her by tapping on the window as the masked men enter the office. Despite his efforts, they strike her down. One injured bodyguard triggers an alarm, locking the suite's door. The masked men try to break in, but Jae-ha kicks the window without success. He then throws a pick to crack the glass and crashes through. Untying himself, Jae-ha uses his rope to trip one attacker and kicks away another. He rushes to help the cleaning lady, taking a few hits before overpowering his attackers. He throws objects at them to ensure they pay for any hits they land. Pinning the man responsible for hurting the cleaning lady on a desk, he notices a burn mark on his wrist. The masked men retreat when JSS agents arrive. Jae-ha stays with the injured cleaning lady and demands an ambulance as the suite unlocks. Meanwhile, in the TV studio, Eugene, Se-jun's wife, is being interviewed. When asked if her husband's career success is due to her wealthy family, she hesitates before responding. She expresses regret that Se-jun married her, as her father opposed the union with a politician. Wiping away a tear, she speaks about loyalty to a loved one. When asked if she loves Se-jun deeply, she affirms it, adding that she still respects him. Chief Ju of JSS reviews footage, puzzled about how someone could break through tempered glass from the outside. At the studio, Eugene faces a question about her shares in JB Group. She smiles, and her assistant signals for a commercial break. Off camera, she reminds the interviewer to avoid sensitive topics. The host backs down after she mentions her son. After the interview, Eugene gifts a staff member with treats and learns about the break-in involving her husband. Unfazed, she suspects political sabotage and outlines next steps while planning to keep that girl for later use. Satisfied, she notes the girl's age, perfect for their needs. Later, Se-jun checks in, commenting on the interview. He trusts his wife to handle the fallout but is concerned about the man who saw his face during the affair. Eugene remains calm and speaks to the head of JSS to manage the situation. Meanwhile, Jae-ha prepares to leave as JSS agents arrive. Chief Ju realizes Jae-ha's involvement and urgently tells his boss to recall the agents. Inside the building, Jae-ha takes down the agents, using their own weapons against them. He outmaneuvers them one by one, leaving them unconscious. With the last agent, Jae-ha disarms him and then reappears with a taser. After the fight, he leaves his phone behind and escapes. Chief Ju arrives later, relieved to find the men alive. At home, Sejun finds Eugene waiting. She tells him their daughter, Anna, has run away again. Sejun grows tense, warning that if anything happens to Anna, their deal will be over. Meanwhile, Anna runs through the streets of Spain, terrified and looking over her shoulder. She stumbles into traffic and stops in fear. Her mind flashes back to a memory of handing her mother sleeping pills. Through her sobs, she whispers in Spanish, "I did not kill." Anna stands frozen in the street. The flickering headlights trigger memories of arriving at the police station after her mother's death. She was overwhelmed by camera flashes from the press. During her questioning, a psychiatrist tried to get answers, but Anna couldn't explain what happened. A concerned old woman leads her off the street, and Anna hobbles away, alone. Meanwhile, Jae-ha reaches a bus station and notices police officers nearby. He disguises himself in a soldier's uniform to avoid suspicion. Elsewhere, Eugene expresses disappointment with JSS for failing to capture Jae-ha. Amused by her subordinates' excuses, she listens as Chief Ju explains that capturing Jae-ha is nearly impossible due to his training in history with Blackstone, an elite private military company. Ju concludes that Jae-ha's skills far exceed JSS agents. Despite this, Eugene dismisses recruiting Jae-ha and instructs them to better protect her husband. As Eugene watches her husband leave, she reflects on his unrepentant nature. She scoffs at the idea of feeling let down. Secretary Kim assures her they will handle Jae-ha but notes another pressing issue. Anna's photo has gone viral, shared by a well-known fashion designer. Though Secretary Kim vows to prevent it from making headlines, Eugene roars that the world will want to know who Anna is if the designer gets involved. When Secretary Kim suggests eliminating Anna, Eugene quickly rejects the idea, noting Anna is her only leverage over Sejun. Realizing Anna would be safer under her watch in Korea, Eugene orders her to be brought back. Alone, she studies Anna's photo and muses, they look alike. Sejun meets with Chief Ju privately, admitting he knows Anna is safe but cannot see her due to his political ambitions. Acknowledging his failings as a father, he implores Chief Ju to protect Anna, warning that if anything happens to her, it will end everything Eugene has worked for. Ju promises to keep her safe. Jae-ha, trying to secure transportation, helps an old couple with farm work in exchange for shelter. Meanwhile, the head of JSS approaches a police commissioner, offering insider knowledge about Sejun's upcoming party switch in exchange for help locating Jae-ha. The commissioner, intrigued, agrees to assist. Anna is drugged and transported to Seoul on a first-class flight. In her sedated state, she dreams of the day a woman with red fingernails, Secretary Kim, took her from the hospital. The memory brings tears to Anna's eyes. Jae-ha, staying with an elderly couple, overhears their grief as they mourn their son. The old man explains it's the 49th day since his death, and Jae-ha offers to help with the farm work. Touched by his kindness, the couple grows fond of him. However, their peace shatters when intruders arrive, tying them up and threatening to set their home on fire. Just as one assailant is about to ignite the flames, Jae-ha intervenes, engaging him in a brutal fight. Jae-ha skillfully counters the man's knife attacks, wounding him despite suffering injuries of his own. The fight moves outside, where Jae-ha uses powerful moves to incapacitate his opponent, dislocating his shoulder and finally strangling him into submission. When the man refuses to reveal who sent him, Jae-ha threatens to torture him until he talks. The assailant mocks him, claiming that everyone who helps Jae-ha will die. Enraged, Jae-ha prepares to continue the torture. Later that evening, Jae-ha arrives outside Eugene and Sejun's estate just as Anna is brought inside. Still groggy from the drugs, Anna wakes to find herself face-to-face with Eugene. Eugene comments on how Anna has grown, noting her resemblance to her mother. Filled with anger, Anna calls her a devil. Eugene, unfazed, reminds her that everything she did was for Anna's and her father's sake. When Anna accuses her of lying, saying her mother didn't commit the unthinkable act, Eugene coldly suggests Anna should have become a nun. Eugene dismisses Anna, sending her upstairs while she pours herself a drink. Moments later, Jae-ha storms in, lifting a gun to Eugene's head. He warns her to leave him and those around him alone. Eugene, unfazed, asks what will happen if she doesn't. Jae-ha threatens to kill her if they meet again. Unimpressed, Eugene reveals she knows all about him and has been tracking his movements. As her bodyguards rush in, she explains that Jae-ha stumbled upon something he shouldn't have. When Jae-ha asks if her actions are out of love for her cheating husband, Eugene laughs. She explains that she never loved him and envies Jae-ha's naive view of love. She questions why Jae-ha returned, suggesting he could have lived in hiding. Jae-ha replies that he cannot allow innocent people to die because of him. Intrigued by his response, Eugene decides to believe him but states that she cannot let those people live. She signals for her bodyguards to restrain Jae-ha, but before they can act, sirens sound outside. As the police arrive, Jae-ha uses the distraction to free himself and take down the guards, methodically fighting his way through them. Once inside the house, Jae-ha confronts Eugene again, pressing his gun to her head. However, a voice behind him interrupts. It's Anna. She urges Jae-ha to shoot, screaming for him to kill Eugene. Recognizing her from their earlier encounter in Spain, Jae-ha hesitates as Anna continues to shout, "Shoot!" Choi Eugene narrowly escapes death in her second encounter with Kim Jae-ha. Although he threatened to kill her, Jae-ha takes a different route. He's recorded everything she's said and done and attached it to an email set to send in 24 hours to the press, prosecutors, and the Blue House. This email would ruin her. Faced with this, Eugene negotiates, asking what it would take to stop the email. Jae-ha makes it clear that his life is on the line. He takes her to the car, and they drive away. When he asks if her husband would choose her or the email, her silence suggests that Jang Se-jun would choose the latter. Negotiations abruptly halt when motorbike pursuers cut the brakes on Eugene's car. Mistaking them for her people, Jae-ha realizes too late that they intend to kill her by faking an accident. He takes control, weaving through traffic at high speed. Unable to slow down, he instead speeds up, breaking free from the remote control system. His plan works. Although the shots fired don't hit the riders, they alert Eugene's security team, who take out the attackers. Their car crashes at a construction site, flipping over. Jae-ha, bloody but alive, escapes the wreckage with the help of workers. He pulls an unconscious Eugene from the car moments before it explodes. The blast knocks him down, and flying debris finally renders him unconscious, just as Eugene's people arrive to rescue her. Eugene watches in fear as Jae-ha collapses, knowing the email could still ruin her. Fortunately, Jae-ha survives and is quickly taken to the hospital under her orders. Meanwhile, Eugene's husband, Se-jun, uses the attack on her to garner more political support. Indifferent to her suffering, he ensures he's seen by her side, playing the part of the concerned husband for the media. His public display of loyalty wins him sympathy, enhancing his presidential campaign. As Eugene rests in the hospital, a commentator suggests that Se-jun's political rival, Park Kwon-soo, was behind the attack. Eugene is pleased, knowing this will work in her favor without her direct involvement. Despite Se-jun's cold indifference, he shows concern when he learns that his daughter, Anna, was involved in the recent hostage situation. He warns Chief Chu to protect Anna, as any harm to her would bring down everything Eugene has built. Meanwhile, Chief Chu tries to convince Jae-ha to work as a bodyguard for Eugene, emphasizing the power and resources of JSS, including secrets about JB Group and national politics. Chu warns Jae-ha that when Se-jun becomes president, his life could be at risk if he doesn't cooperate. However, Jae-ha remains uninterested, even when offered a position at the Blue House for revenge. Jae-ha's reluctance stems from a personal tragedy, the loss of a woman he once loved and planned to marry. A flashback shows Jae-ha holding her lifeless body, revealing deep scars that still drive his actions. This pain resurfaces when he encounters Park Kwon-soo, the man he blames for his suffering. In a fit of rage, Jae-ha disarms Park's guards in an elevator, leaving them bloodied and incapacitated. He points a gun at a terrified Park Kwon-soo. Kim Jae-ha's attack on Park Kwon-soo in the elevator was just in his mind. In reality, he didn't even grab the guards' weapons. Chief Chu's assessment proves true. Jae-ha can't kill, haunted by the memory of seeing Rania shot in the head during a meeting involving Park Kwon-soo. Determined to not let Park go easily, Jae-ha sets a trap in a revolving door by slipping a sensor into Park's jacket at a barber shop. However, the plan backfires when a young boy gets trapped in the door. Park approaches the boy, nearly triggering the trap, but his guards escort him through a side door, sparing the boy. Jae-ha's attempt exposes him to Park's guards, forcing him to flee to the rooftop, where he escapes using a harness. Below, Choi Eugene and Chief Ju await him in their car, helping him get away. Inside the car, Eugene offers her support, implying he should work for her. Jae-ha declines, but she reminds him that now Park knows who he is, and security will be tighter, making revenge more difficult. Her logic convinces him. With his hand healed, Jae-ha joins JSS training under instructor Song. He easily surpasses the other recruits and is soon assigned to the VIP team. Though the team resents him for his earlier dominance, he continues to excel. Even in the communal shower, his teammates try to challenge him, but Jae-ha handles them effortlessly. VIP team leader Seo was reluctant to accept him, but Chief Ju assures him that things will settle once the team hierarchy is established. As part of the VIP team, Jae-ha is given the codename K2 and assigned to night shift duty in Section C. He works alongside Jang Miran, codenamed J4, who monitors Ko-Anna. Jae-ha is briefed on Anna's anxiety and panic disorder. His mission is to ensure she stays hidden, especially from Park Kwon-soo, who could use her to his advantage. On Jae-ha's first night of duty, he watches Anna leave her room at 10:30 p.m. and head to the kitchen. Her search for food intrigues him. When she finds a packet of ramen, her joy captivates him. However, her attempt to cook fails as she struggles with the stove and eventually gives up. Jae-ha silently encourages her not to quit, wondering if he should help. He decides against it, though her failed attempt bothers him. Meanwhile, Choi Eugene and Jang Sejun leave a function in separate cars. Sejun is off to meet another woman, a fact Eugene is aware of, yet they pose for the cameras to maintain appearances. As Eugene rides in her car, she is visibly affected by the contrast between their public facade and private reality, tears rolling down her cheeks. Back at the CCTV control room, Jae-ha steps outside for a smoke, reflecting on Anna's earlier kitchen scene with a smile. Suddenly, he notices a shadow and flickering light on the rooftop, signaling potential danger. Choi Eugene's aunt, Choi Sunja, passes away, prompting the family to gather for the will reading. The will names only one inheritor, the Pyeongchang Scholarship Foundation. Although Choi Eugene appears to be in charge of the foundation, she denies owning it outright. Thus, the fortune, including JB Group shares, effectively transfers to her. Choi Sung-won and his family are not surprised by this outcome. They had anticipated it since Choi Eugene possessed the key required to unlock the will. Her late aunt had entrusted her with this key, and the family needed her present for the reading. When the attorney asked for the key, the family subtly directed attention toward her, prompting Jang Sejun to ask her directly for it. The family had planned meticulously for this moment. They arranged a lockdown at the Umatba Shrine Room, where the reading took place. The area was heavily guarded, with communication restricted. This setup was designed to trap Choi Eugene, enabling the foundation's directors to coerce her into selling her JB Group shares. When she declined their offer to buy the shares for triple their value, the directors threatened to depose her as CEO of the foundation. Caught off guard by the scheme, Choi Eugene was fortunate to have Kim Jae-ha on her security team. The JSS staff had already been concerned about the tight security surrounding the temple, suspecting an attack. Though Chief Ju advised caution, Choi Eugene felt safe entering with Jang Sejun, assuming his presence would deter any direct threats. Kim Jae-ha, however, had devised a backup plan. He handed her a pen equipped with a hidden communication device. A single click would activate the feed, allowing him to listen in, while a second click would signal distress. As the situation escalated and Choi Eugene learned of the plan to remove her from her position, her frustration got the better of her. She accidentally sent the pen across the table to her half-brother, who unknowingly cut off the feed. Realizing the signal was lost, Kim Jae-ha deduced she was in trouble, knowing she would never sell her ambitions so easily. Acting on his own, Kim Jae-ha decided to rescue her. He swiftly took down the guards in the corridor and set off a small fire to trigger the electronic locks, releasing the doors. As the sprinklers activated, the Choi family left, but Choi Eugene remained seated. Kim Jae-ha arrived, holding an umbrella, ready to protect her. Impressed by his initiative, Choi Eugene realized how dangerous and untamable he truly was. This led her to summon him to the mysterious Cloud 9, an important location in her world. Before this encounter, a light-hearted moment unfolded involving Kim Jae-ha and Song Young-chun, a JSS instructor with a crush on a female doctor. Hoping to impress her, Song bribed Kim Jae-ha to stage a mock fight, where Song would appear to overpower him. However, the plan backfired. When the doctor saw Kim Jae-ha being held down, she rushed to defend him, hitting Song over the head with her handbag. Despite the failure, Song's relationship with the doctor blossomed, and they shared a moment later, discussing the event over a meal. Kim Jae-ha's knack for helping others extended beyond Son Young-chun. He later helped Ko-ana by preparing ingredients for her to cook ramen, allowing her to enjoy a simple meal. Watching her succeed brought him satisfaction, and he took a break outside, smiling up at her window. During this time, Jang Miran, another JSS staff member, joined him. She awkwardly explained her failure to respond to his call for help the previous night, and they discussed Ko-ana and her strained relationship with her father, Jang Se-jun. Their conversation revealed that Ko-ana had been seeking her father's attention for years, unaware of his indifference. Even when he was in Madrid, he had refused to see her. The conversation ended when Kim Jae-ha received a call to return to headquarters, where he was summoned to Cloud 9, located in the basement of the company building. Beneath the building's basement lies a high-tech, bulletproof, and soundproof intelligence center called Cloud 9. This facility is the brain of JSS, powered by an advanced AI named Mirror, which manages confidential global data, accessible only by Choi Eugene. Kim Jae-ha is called here because Choi Eugene offers him access to this valuable intel, knowing it piques his interest. In exchange, she demands that he reveal his past. At first, Kim Jae-ha hesitates, suspicious of the microphones in the room. Choi Eugene reassures him that they only serve to activate the AI with voice commands. Convinced, he shares his story, starting with his time in Iraq and his personal vendetta against Park Kwon-soo. He explains how he became a fugitive after being framed for the murder of Rania, a translator he introduced to a meeting between Park Kwon-soo and a Kumar leader. Rania was shot before his eyes, and a gun was placed in his hands while he was unconscious, framing him. After escaping, he disguised himself as a refugee, determined to seek revenge. Satisfied with the story, Choi Eugene commands Mirror to reveal why Rania was killed. Mirror suggests a 68% probability that Park Kwon-soo ordered her death due to sensitive information she translated. Although the exact details are unclear, the AI speculates that Park Kwon-soo may have supplied weapons to the Kumar leader, who later formed an independent army outside CIA control. Meanwhile, at Choi Eugene's residence, Ko-ana seizes the chance to escape while surveillance is down. After seeing her father, Jang Se-jun, on the news attending a memorial service, she decides to find him. She evades Jang Miran, who is distracted by TV, and spikes her drink to slip by unnoticed. Disguised in Jang Miran's black suit and headset, Ko-ana fools the guard at the gate and leaves without suspicion. Ko-ana first visits a photo studio she once visited with her mother. There, she learns from the photographer about a U.S. visa her mother had sought before her death. This discovery leads her to an assisted living facility, where she finds out that her mother had planned to flee to America with her to escape Choi Eugene's threats. A relative mistakes Ko-ana for her mother and urges her to leave the country. As Ko-ana approaches the memorial service, the JSS team tracks her through a taxi payment. By the time they arrive, she is already standing among a choir of nuns. Jang Se-jun's plan to keep her away from the event has failed, and Park Kwon-soo and his team watch her closely from the audience. Despite the tension, Ko-ana doesn't reveal her identity. Instead, she sings Amazing Grace, conflicted about confronting her father. When Kim Jae-ha silently pleads with her to remain silent, she steps aside with the rest of the choir. After the memorial, Ko-ana briefly evades capture but is eventually tracked to Dream Forest, where she waits on a bench. This park holds sentimental value, as it's the last place she visited with her father. In a flashback, young Ko-ana remembers a conversation where her father told her to return to the last place they were together if she ever got lost, advice she now follows. Despite waiting, her father does not come. Jang Se-jun seems to have no intention of finding her, as Choi Eugene accuses him of using her rage as an excuse to keep his daughter away. She implies he wants to distance himself from Ko-ana to pursue his ambitions without interference. When Kim Jae-ha arrives, he approaches Ko-ana and offers her strawberry ice cream, falsely claiming it's from her father. As she eats, Ko-ana opens up about her memories of the park in her childhood. She recalls how happy she was visiting the park with her father, a rare moment she couldn't share with friends because her mother warned her not to reveal her father's identity. As she speaks, Ko-ana begins to struggle, her breathing labored. She suddenly falls unconscious. Realizing something is wrong, Kim Jae-ha contacts his team, who inform him that she is allergic to strawberries. He calls for an ambulance, but with her pulse weakening, he is instructed to begin CPR. Kim Jae-ha performs mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Ko-ana briefly regains consciousness before slipping back under. Kim Jae-ha feels anxious as he rushes Ko-ana to JSS headquarters, fearing his lie about the strawberry ice cream might have caused her death. The medical chief works to stabilize her while Jae-ha stays nearby, watching her until he's asked to leave. He confronts Chief Ju about canceling the ambulance. Ju explains that the order came from the president, saying it's sometimes better to let someone die than risk exposure. Ko-ana seems to understand this, believing her attempt to eat the strawberries was a way to end her life. Feeling like a burden to her father, Jae-ha speaks with Son Yun-chun, expressing concern for Ko-ana. Son reveals that Ko-ana's legal father is an American named Ko Am-wook, but Jang Se-jun is her biological father. Yuami Hyrin married Ko Am-wook after becoming pregnant. Son explains how Yuami once pretended to be a happy family with Ko-ana and Jang Se-jun in front of Choi Eugene. Meanwhile, Ko-ana is haunted by memories of her mother's death. She recalls an attacker who tried to kill them both, leading her to suspect Choi Eugene's involvement. When she wakes up, Choi Eugene blames her mother's alcoholism and claims Ko-ana killed her by giving her sleeping pills. She dismisses Ko-ana's memory of an attacker as false. Choi Eugene also tells Ko-ana that her father doesn't want to see her because of his political ambitions. She paints Yuami Hyrin as a blackmailer who used Ko-ana against Jang Se-jun. Jae-ha, overhearing the conversation, steps in to stop Choi Eugene from causing more harm to Ko-ana. He promises Ko-ana that he'll bring her father to her. Jae-ha then goes to Jang Se-jun's assembly, where a staged demonstration takes place. Choi Eugene arranges for Jang Se-jun to join a politician's party. The demonstration turns in Jang Se-jun's favor, and he promises to investigate the international finance group and allow a search of his properties to address corruption allegations. Later, a woman tries to drug Jang Se-jun in his dressing room, but Jae-ha intervenes. The police, siding with Park Kwon-soo, chase them. With help from Chief Ju and the JSS team, Jae-ha helps Jang Se-jun escape. Jae-ha drives Jang Se-jun to see Ko-ana. Se-jun hesitates, fearing Choi Eugene will hide Ko-ana forever if he says the wrong thing. He admits his greed has caused him to lose sight of his loved ones. To escape Choi Eugene's control, he believes he needs more power, which requires distance from Ko-ana. Despite his reservations, Jang Se-jun agrees to meet Ko-ana, as long as Jae-ha promises to protect her. When he sees her, he pretends to be the uncaring father Choi Eugene described. He downplays his concern for her and her mother, reinforcing the idea that his ambitions are more important. Ko-ana, devastated, turns away, sobbing. Jang Se-jun's performance pleases Choi Eugene, who watches from a distance, mocking him. Chief Kim, watching her reaction, grows concerned about her mental state. Jang Se-jun's promise to investigate corruption leads to a flurry of activity at JSS headquarters. Investigators focus on KJG's office, suspecting a slush fund linked to the International Finance Group, IFG, owned by Choi Eugene's uncle. Jang Se-jun's offices and home are also investigated, but less aggressively. At Choi Eugene's house, the investigators politely allow her to prepare documents for inspection. At Jinhan Group, Choi Sung-won's family is worried. They believe Choi Eugene won't attack them, as it could hurt her presidential campaign, but fear what might happen if Jang Se-jun wins the presidency. Meanwhile, Park Kwon-soo faces pressure as the investigation affects his sponsors, including IFG. With little evidence found against Jang Se-jun, Park contemplates using a secret trump card. As the investigation unfolds, netizens speculate about Ko-ana's connection to Paul Lafelt, sharing rumors of her sightings. A sandwich shop worker captures a photo of Ko-ana and Kim Jae-ha, which quickly spreads online, attracting media attention. Kim Jae-ha, anticipating the media storm, decides to publicly reveal Ko-ana's identity. He tips off an entertainment journalist, preparing for the big reveal. Aware of the potential fallout, Choi Eugene plans to eliminate Ko-ana using snipers. However, Kim Jae-ha disables them before the media event begins. He communicates with Ko-ana using hand signals, telling her when it's safe to emerge. During the press conference, Ko-ana confirms she's Yuami Hyrin's daughter but avoids revealing her biological father, claiming instead to be the daughter of the late director Ko Jun-ho. This satisfies Choi Eugene, as Jang Se-jun's identity remains hidden. However, the threat of exposure still looms. The situation takes a turn when a camera flash causes Ko-ana to collapse. Choi Eugene rushes to her side, raising questions among the media about their relationship. Meanwhile, Choi Eugene's adversaries, including Choi Sung-won's mother, watch the event closely, intrigued by Ko-ana's emergence. Later, Ko-ana and Kim Jae-ha are on the rooftop, reflecting on their past in Barcelona. Kim Jae-ha feels uneasy recalling her allergic reaction but brushes it off. When Ko-ana almost loses her balance, he rushes to help but ends up embarrassing himself. Recovering, they discuss her new status as Choi Eugene's greatest weakness. Kim Jae-ha warns that her freedom depends on public interest. If that fades, Choi Eugene might act against her. The conversation shifts to Jang Se-jun. Ko-ana asks for advice on revealing her father's identity, but Kim Jae-ha warns that doing so could put his life at risk. They reflect on her mother's tragic fate, with Ko-ana realizing her mother's despair came from unfulfilled promises and the desire for a life free from politics. Overcome with emotion, Ko-ana breaks down in Kim Jae-ha's arms. The next morning, the episode opens with Ko-ana waking up, recalling Kim Jae-ha's encouraging words. His support has helped her overcome her fear of social interaction. She joins her maid and Jang Mi-ran in the kitchen, expressing gratitude for their protection. Kim Jae-ha had pointed out that while they seemed like captors, they were also her guardians. In an effort to show her appreciation, Ko-ana promises to ensure their safety, unaware of the impossibility of her promise. Jae-won, one of her guards, reminds her that anyone who knows about her is at risk. This deepens the bond between Jae-won and Jang Mi-ran, leading to a touching moment where Jang Mi-ran kisses Jae-won. Now comfortable with public appearances, Ko-ana visits JSS headquarters, where Song Young-chun offers her a brief self-defense session. During this, Choi Sung-won approaches her, thanking her, further involving her in his plans for survival. Meanwhile, in Cloud 9, Choi Eugene confronts Kim Jae-ha about exposing Ko-ana to the media. Recognizing his skills and the threat of his email, she surprisingly softens, choosing not to record their conversation. They discuss Park Kwon-soo. Eugene discovers that Park was involved in an oil deal with the Kumar leader, suspecting Rania's translation was key to keeping it secret. She urges Jae-ha to find evidence to destroy Park's political career. However, Kim Jae-ha rejects revenge through exposure, wanting to kill Park himself. Eugene argues that ruining Park's political dreams is a more satisfying revenge. As they leave, they encounter Choi Sung-won and Ko-ana. Choi Eugene disapproves when Sung-won invites Ko-ana to dinner, but he threatens to expose her as Jang Se-jun's daughter. Ko-ana trusts Jae-ha and agrees to dinner with Sung-won. During the car ride, Sung-won suggests a psychological assessment at the hospital, raising Kim Jae-ha's suspicions. At the hospital, Ko-ana meets Dr. Lee, while Sung-won separates Jae-ha, claiming they need to discuss his future. Sensing a trap, Jae-ha rushes to find Ko-ana, but she's safe, enjoying a meal with Jang Mi-ran, Jae-won, and her maid. Meanwhile, the chief of police withdraws support from Choi Eugene, aligning with Park Kwon-soo, reflecting the shifting power dynamics. Choi Sung-won's father-in-law also eyes JB Group, with Jinhan security agents attempting to sever ties with JSS, but team leader Seo refuses, leading to a standoff. At a restaurant, Choi Sung-won and Park Kwon-soo discuss company ownership and hint at ulterior motives regarding Ko-ana. Back at home, Ko-ana admits to herself that she has feelings for Kim Jae-ha. After a dinner toast to her dreams, she steps onto the balcony to cool off. Kim Jae-ha checks her temperature, leading to a charged moment where they nearly kiss, but he pulls away to get her an ice pack. A playful exchange follows through walkie-talkies. After wishing Ko-ana goodnight, Kim Jae-ha falls asleep. She checks on him, noticing sweat on his face. He dreams of Rania's death, jolts awake, and feels relieved to see Ko-ana beside him. In the ongoing power struggle, Choi Sung-won realizes he can't sit back while Choi Eugene takes control. He sees Ko-ana not just as a shield but as a weapon he can use for leverage. Choi Eugene is invited to an interview to discuss her connection to Ko-ana, the daughter of a famous star. She instructs the interviewer, Ji-yeon, to follow a script. However, Ji-yeon secretly works with Choi Sung-won to expose Choi Eugene. During the interview, Choi Eugene claims she took Ko-ana in out of guilt over introducing her mother, Yuami Hai-rin, to Ko Jun-ho. Ji-yeon twists her words, and Ko-ana appears live to contradict Choi Eugene's story. A recorded message from fashion designer Jean-Paul Lefelt further supports Ko-ana, casting doubt on Choi Eugene's narrative. The interview ends with Ko-ana urging anyone with information about her mother's death to come forward, suggesting foul play. Afterward, Choi Eugene reflects on the damage caused by Kim Jae-ha's actions. She contemplates killing him but hesitates. Chief Kim suspects her hesitation stems from feelings for Kim Jae-ha, though Choi Eugene also sees his value. Meanwhile, at a photo shoot, nerve gas fills the floor. Kim Jae-ha realizes Chief Kim is behind the attack when she refuses to connect him to Choi Eugene. He fights off the attackers, but when he's momentarily incapacitated, Ko-ana crawls through the ventilation ducts to help him. Together, they defeat the remaining attackers before collapsing from the gas. Both regain consciousness and decide to return to the secret house for safety. Back at the house, Ko-ana feels uneasy. Kim Jae-ha wraps them in a blanket to comfort her, creating a private moment that brings them closer. Under the blanket, away from others, Kim Jae-ha leans in and kisses Ko-ana, a natural and intimate moment between them. Meanwhile, Choi Eugene faces a challenge from Park Kwon-soo. New evidence leads to Jang Se-jun's detention, signaling a deeper scheme. In a meeting, Choi Eugene discusses eliminating Park Kwon-soo, with the president supporting the plan, especially with Kim Jae-ha involved. Kim Jae-ha is summoned to Cloud 9, where he is briefed on the mission to kill Park Kwon-soo. Despite the risks, he accepts under two conditions: that Choi Eugene leaves Ko-ana alone and that Chief Kim be held accountable. Chief Kim agrees, adding that Choi Eugene must offer her own head if Park Kwon-soo is killed. Kim Jae-ha is granted the JSS offensive team for the mission. Just as the meeting concludes, Choi Eugene pulls Kim Jae-ha aside, expressing concern for his safety. She urges him to abort the mission if it becomes too dangerous. Park Kwon-soo learns of Choi Eugene's plan to attack him at his home, thanks to a tip from the chief of police. However, this is a ruse to make him believe the attack will happen at his residence, when the real ambush is set for his hideout. Believing he's outsmarted Choi Eugene, Park Kwon-soo stations his men at home while he secretly escapes to his hideout. A police officer stops the JSS car for a fake traffic violation, giving Park time to switch vehicles. At the hideout, Park thinks he's safe but is ambushed by Kim Jae-ha, team leader Seo, and the JSS offensive team. A shootout ensues, and Park's secretary wounds team leader Seo. Kim Jae-ha overpowers the secretary and corners Park, who hides behind a metal door. Kim Jae-ha gets inside and confronts Park, but hesitates to kill him, haunted by past trauma. Instead, he fires his gun in frustration. Park tries to bribe him, but Kim Jae-ha rejects the offer, remembering Choi Eugene's words about destroying someone without a bullet. Pretending to negotiate, Kim Jae-ha informs Choi Eugene of his hesitation. She takes the opportunity to make Park release Jang Se-jun and announce his joining of the Democratic Progressive Party, securing his political future. Choi Eugene asserts control over Park, who now mistakenly believes Kim Jae-ha is his assassin. After the ambush, team leader Seo and the JSS team escape without casualties. Kim Jae-ha returns to Ko-ana, and they celebrate with a meal and drinks. Their bond with team leader Seo strengthens, ending in a moment of brotherhood. Later, Ko-ana tends to Kim Jae-ha's wounds in the attic. Their closeness leads to intimacy, and they talk about their future, agreeing to leave for Spain once everything is settled. Ko-ana learns more about Kim Jae-ha's traumatic past and his false murder charge. Meanwhile, Choi Eugene faces backlash from Jang Se-jun after his release. He confronts her about her plan to eliminate Ko-ana, which she had called off. Se-jun threatens her position but underestimates her power and connections. Choi Eugene vows revenge, making it clear she won't be taken lightly. Choi Eugene then chastises Chief Kim for trying to kill Kim Jae-ha, asserting that she understands his value. The next day, Chief Kim asks for Kim Jae-ha's forgiveness and reports Park Kwon-soo's intentions. Choi Eugene orders Chief Kim to keep Kim Jae-ha unaware of her plans. Meanwhile, Choi Sung-won is determined to expose Yoo-mi Hyrin's death and force Choi Eugene to relinquish control of JSS and Cloud 9. With Ko-ana's connection to Yoo-mi Hyrin already sparking media interest, he plans a visit to her grave followed by a fashion event in her honor to heighten public curiosity. At the grave, journalists are surprised by Yoo-mi Hyrin's modest headstone, and Ko-ana expresses sorrow for not visiting sooner, raising eyebrows among the media. At the fashion event, Ko-ana walks the runway, influenced by medication supplied by Choi Sung-won. She believes the event will honor her mother and expose Choi Eugene's wrongdoings, but Kim Jae-ha remains suspicious of Sung-won's motives. Sung-won explains his plan to revive interest in Yoo-mi Hyrin's death and publishes a provocative article accusing Choi Eugene of an affair with Ko Jun-ho, Yoo-mi Hyrin's husband, leading to Ko-ana's birth. The article hints that Choi Yoo-jin killed Yoo-mi Hyrin to silence her after being blackmailed. To protect Jang Se-jun's political ambitions, Sunwon frames the affair as something that happened before Yoo-jin and Se-jun's marriage. This sets the stage for a defamation case and a reinvestigation into Yoo-mi Hyrin's death. Choi Yoo-jin dismisses the claims, especially the idea that Ko-ana is her daughter. Despite the media frenzy, she continues with her volunteer work but is blindsided by journalists asking about the reopened investigation. She faints, leading the public to question whether the collapse is genuine or staged. In the hospital, Song Young-chun, who seems to have a close relationship with Eugene, visits her. He warns her to leave Ko-ana alone, suggesting he will act on his morals if she doesn't. A flashback hints at Choi Yoo-jin's guilt, showing her injecting something into Yoo-mi Hyrin's neck, raising further doubt about her innocence. Park Kwon-soo claims he saw Choi Yoo-jin enter Yoo-mi Hyrin's room the night of her death, but the full story remains unclear. Kim Jae-ha confronts Yoo-jin in the hospital, reasoning that if she had killed Yoo-mi Hyrin, no witness would be left to testify. Ko-ana, however, firmly believes in Eugene's guilt and has allied with Choi Sun-won, who is portrayed as even more ruthless than Eugene. Despite denying her involvement, Choi Yoo-jin tells Kim Jae-ha to let Ko-ana and Jang Se-jun believe she is guilty. She admits she used the lie to manipulate Se-jun into staying with her. She extends her trust to Jae-ha by granting him full access to Mirror, her AI system, knowing she needs someone she can trust to monitor developments as the defamation case unfolds. The next day, Choi Yoo-jin, alongside Jang Se-jun, makes a shocking announcement at the police station in front of live media. She reveals that Ko-ana is her daughter emotionally, if not biologically, clarifying that Ko-ana is Jang Se-jun's child. Jang Se-jun tries to salvage his image during a press conference by portraying Yoo-mi Hyrin as a heartbreaker and blackmailer who disrupted his life with Choi Yoo-jin. He recounts their love story from 1993 and explains how they separated after his arrest in 1994. While Yoo-mi moved to America and married director Ko Jun-ho, he claims it was Choi Yoo-jin's support that helped him recover and rise in politics, though he downplays the true nature of their relationship. Jang Se-jun frames Yoo-mi Hyrin's return with Ko-ana as a demand for him to leave Choi Yoo-jin. He paints Choi as the innocent party, saying she tried to negotiate with Yoo-mi but that Yoo-mi took her own life, leaving him shocked. Ko-ana, watching the conference, is furious at what she believes are lies. She hopes to reveal the witness who claimed to have seen Choi Yoo-jin kill her mother. However, when they meet the witness in prison, he denies confirming Choi Yoo-jin's guilt, stating he only said maybe. This turns out to be part of Choi Yoo-jin's strategy, orchestrated by Chief Kim to mislead Ko-ana and Choi Sun-won. Choi Yoo-jin, hearing of the press conference, smirks at the claims, especially the one suggesting Ko-ana is her daughter. However, when asked by reporters about the reopening of Yoo-mi Hyrin's case, she faints in shock. Her collapse is interpreted differently. Some suspect it's an act, while others believe it's genuine. In the hospital, Choi Yoo-jin is visited by Song Young-chun, who warns her to leave Ko-ana alone or face the consequences. Flashbacks reveal a tense confrontation between Choi Yoo-jin and Yoo-mi Hyrin, where Yoo-mi pleads for Ko-ana's safety, hinting at Choi Yoo-jin's internal conflict. Jang Se-jun later admits to Ko-ana that his press conference was full of lies, further implying that Yoo-mi Hyrin was murdered, not suicidal. This confession leads to a rift between Ko-ana and her father, with Ko-ana declaring she is no longer his daughter. Meanwhile, Kim Jae-ha decides to use his access to Mirror to gather information against Park Kwon-soo, believing this will help protect Ko-ana and avenge Rania's death. He suspects Kim Suk-han, the son of the president, has incriminating evidence related to the Kumar oil fraud scandal. Kim Jae-ha follows Kim Suk-han, hoping to provoke him into revealing the evidence. Kim Suk-han, growing wary, leads Kim Jae-ha to a hidden memory card containing crucial information, tucked under a prayer bench. Kim Jae-ha chases Kim Suk-han, but Park Kwon-soo's men get involved, leading to a confrontation in a multi-level car park. Kim Suk-han, cornered at the safety barriers, slips and nearly falls to his death. Kim Jae-ha reaches him just in time to save him. Kim Jae-ha pushes Park Kwon-soo's men aside and leaps over the safety barrier. He grabs Kim Suk-han's hand while holding onto the barrier with his other hand. With great effort, he swings Kim Suk-han to safety on the level below. In doing so, the memory card in Kim Suk-han's hand transfers to Kim Jae-ha during the rescue. Now holding the memory card, Kim Jae-ha is confronted by Park Kwon-soo's main man, who demands the card in exchange for help. Kim Jae-ha refuses, Spotting a truck below carrying soft bags, he lets go of the railing and jumps, landing safely. As he crosses the road, a bullet from Park Kwon-soo's men hits him in the side. Despite the injury, Kim Jae-ha buries the memory card before being rescued by Chief Ju. Once in the car, he loses consciousness. At JSS headquarters, Choi Eugene is deeply distressed when Kim Jae-ha is brought in. She tells the doctor that he must survive because the company's future depends on him. Kim Jae-ha is rushed to Cloud 9 for surgery, where he nearly goes into cardiac arrest. The medical team revives him, but he remains in critical condition. While Kim Jae-ha fights for his life, the chief of police arrives at JSS headquarters with a warrant to search the main server. Park Kwon-soo is using this opportunity to try to incriminate JSS by obtaining secret data and destroying Cloud 9. The JSS president cooperates with the search, knowing the server being seized only holds general employee information, not the classified data. Choi Eugene is still concerned and double-checks with Mirror that the classified information is safe. The chief of police reports back to Park Kwon-soo, claiming success. The chairman of Jinhan Group, however, advises caution, as they still need access to the secret data. After Kim Jae-ha wakes up, Kim Suk-han tells his guard to spread the word that Kim Jae-ha saved him, resulting in an order from the Blue House to stop the search. Choi Eugene is unaware that Kim Jae-ha has the memory card and is using the time to search for it. Meanwhile, Chief Ju returns to the area where Kim Jae-ha was shot. Jang Se-jun asks Chief Ju to give him the memory card, believing it will free him and Ko-ana from Choi Eugene's control. Chief Ju stays neutral, unsure of his next move. Kim Jae-ha later reveals that the memory card contains information that could expose Choi Sun-won's fraud and destroy JB Group. He sees it as leverage to protect himself and Ko-ana. While Kim Jae-ha recovers, Choi Eugene manipulates Ko-ana, convincing her to leave Kim Jae-ha for his own safety. She warns that staying with him will put both of them in danger. Ko-ana, conflicted, agrees to leave, believing it's for Kim Jae-ha's protection. Kim Jae-ha later discovers this through Mirror. Realizing Choi Eugene's true intentions, he confronts her, accusing her of lacking compassion and being willing to kill to maintain power. He references her past actions, including her role in the deaths of Rania and Uemi Hai-rin. He tells her that he cannot be her friend, as she is no different from those who have caused harm. Choi Eugene denies wanting Kim Jae-ha's admiration but struggles to articulate what she really wants from him. Kim Jae-ha accuses her of trying to control him, suggesting she wants him to be one of her loyal followers. Choi Eugene appears hurt but does not respond directly. Meanwhile, the JSS president switches sides, working with Choi Sun-won and Park Kwon-soo. He believes Choi Eugene has become too obsessed with Kim Jae-ha. He voices his concerns to Chief Ju, questioning if it's worth staying with Choi Eugene when his dream of serving the president seems out of reach. Chief Ju tries to calm him, suggesting they talk after a job at Jang Se-jun's event. Choi Sun-won enters Cloud 9 with a bomb set to detonate in 2 hours. He demands Choi Eugene surrender control of Cloud 9, Mirror, and the memory card to Park Kwon-soo. Despite the tension between Choi Eugene and Kim Jae-ha, she trusts him to handle the situation without prior coordination. She has the option to brief him privately but chooses not to, allowing Kim Jae-ha to take charge. During negotiations, Kim Jae-ha denies having the memory card, making it seem as though he's betraying Choi Eugene. Kim Jae-ha creates a false story, claiming he tried to secure the card for Park Kwon-soo but was stopped by his man. Park Kwon-soo believes him and lets Kim Jae-ha leave Cloud 9 without resistance. Once alone, Choi Eugene remains confident, knowing that Sun-won's own men may turn against him, expecting him to either defuse the bomb or die with Cloud 9. As Kim Jae-ha leaves, Choi Eugene quickly puts her plan into action. She offers Sun-won's men a large sum of money to kill him, but they hesitate when he reveals that he holds the pin to the bomb. Fear of the bomb detonating saves Sun-won, who uses their hesitation to maintain control. Tension escalates when Choi Eugene, previously threatening the JSS president's grandchildren, orders him to eliminate them to secure his loyalty. When the president pleads for a chance to redeem himself, she coldly tells him to die instead. In despair, he takes his own life using a gun taken from one of Sun-won's men. Meanwhile, Kim Jae-ha locates the memory card, but Park Kwon-soo orders his hitman to kill him after confirming its retrieval. Kim Jae-ha is badly injured in the fight, left vulnerable after being struck in the stomach. However, anticipating trouble, he had called Chief Ju for backup. Chief Ju arrives just in time and kills the hitman. With the hitman dead, Kim Jae-ha declares to Park Kwon-soo that he survived and will no longer comply with his demands. He vows to expose both Park Kwon-soo and Choi Sun-won using the memory card. Jang Se-jun and Chief Ju disagree with Kim Jae-ha's plan to publicly release the card's contents. Chief Ju warns that this would ruin JB Group and Jang Se-jun's chances of becoming president. It would also destroy Chief Ju's hopes of serving as security chief at the Blue House. Frustrated by the political games, Kim Jae-ha decides to give up the memory card to ensure Ko-ana's safety from Choi Yoo-jin. He believes the focus should now be on bringing down Park Kwon-soo and Choi Sun-won. As Ko-ana prepares to leave the country, the police stop her at the last minute. Park Kwon-soo learns that Jang Se-jun has obtained the memory card and wants a meeting to discuss their shared interests in the Kumar oil and gas fraud, which implicates powerful figures like Choi Sun-won and the Jinhan chairman. Ko-ana is taken to a safe house, but Park Kwon-soo plans to use her as bait to lure Jang Se-jun to Cloud 9. He intends to eliminate Jang Se-jun, Choi Yoo-jin, and Choi Sun-won in one move. Choi Sun-won is unaware that the bomb he set cannot be defused. Kim Jae-ha learns this important fact after questioning Park Kwon-soo's right-hand man. Kim Jae-ha had already defeated the men sent to ambush him. The right-hand man, scared, reveals the assemblyman's full plan. Choi Sun-won plays a dangerous game. After learning that Jang Se-jun has the memory card, he refuses to defuse the bomb. "I'll just die today," he tells Choi Yoo-jin when she accuses him of being stubborn. The memory card is critical for Choi Sun-won because he's deeply involved in the Kumar oil and gas fraud, known as Kumar Gate. In fact, he orchestrated the entire scheme with his father-in-law, trapping the consortium members. Choi Sun-won was supposed to remain off the consortium's list, knowing the scandal would erupt eventually, but Kim Suk-han got him on the list as a defense mechanism. Despite everything, Choi Sun-won still has a chance to survive and reclaim the memory card, if not for himself, then for his ally, Park Kwon-soo. At this point, he doesn't know that Park Kwon-soo has already betrayed him. Shortly after Choi Yoo-jin suggests Choi Sun-won sign over his shares to her, she learns from Chief Kim that Ko-ana is in the building, running from Park Kwon-soo's man. Both Choi Sun-won and Choi Yoo-jin realize that if Park Kwon-soo captures Ko-ana, Jang Se-jun will likely hand over the memory card to save his daughter. They need to bring both Jang Se-jun and Ko-ana into Cloud 9 before Park Kwon-soo's men get to them. When Jang Se-jun arrives at JSS headquarters, he's focused on finding Ko-ana and is ready to give up the memory card to ensure her safety. Choi Yoo-jin convinces him to go to Cloud 9 while her team searches for Ko-ana, explaining that both he and the card must be protected. If he's captured, neither he nor Ko-ana will be safe. Ko-ana, however, isn't found by Choi Yoo-jin's agents or Park Kwon-soo's men. Instead, Kim Jae-ha locates her quickly. While others struggle, Kim Jae-ha heads to the JSS surveillance room and deduces Ko-ana's location based on the presence of armed men in the boiler room. In the boiler room, Kim Jae-ha faces another fight. He's already injured from multiple confrontations, bleeding from his head, and struggling to stay on his feet. Still, he manages to defeat Park Kwon-soo's men and rescue Ko-ana. Luck is on his side. The attackers use knives instead of guns, not wanting to alert the JSS agents. Kim Jae-ha's superior fighting skills allow him to take them down. One attacker nearly captures Ko-ana, but thanks to gestures Kim Jae-ha had taught her earlier, she manages to avoid harm, allowing him to defeat the final attacker. Afterward, Kim Jae-ha collapses from his injuries, falling into Ko-ana's arms. Chief Kim and the JSS agents arrive after hearing the gunfire. Kim Jae-ha is taken to the infirmary, while Ko-ana is brought to Cloud 9 under Choi Yoo-jin's orders. At this point, the power shifts to Choi Sun-won. He surprises everyone by pulling out a hidden gun and shooting Chief Kim in the leg. Immobilized, she can't stop him from taking Ko-ana hostage. Choi Sun-won forces Choi Yoo-jin to open the glass door separating her and Jang Se-jun. Once inside, he demands the memory card. Jang Se-jun is ready to give the card in exchange for Ko-ana's safety, but Choi Yoo-jin tries to regain control by shutting down the elevators. Before she can finish, Choi Sun-won shoots her in the pelvis, forcing Jang Se-jun to hand over the memory card. Choi Sun-won thinks he has won, but Jang Se-jun, informed by Chief Ju and Kim Jae-ha, reveals the bomb can't be defused. Panicked, Choi Sun-won tries to input the pin multiple times, but the bomb continues to tick. Realizing he's been betrayed by Park Kwon-soo, Choi Sun-won rushes back to Choi Yoo-jin, demanding she reactivate the elevators so they can escape. Choi Yoo-jin attempts to comply, but Mirror informs her that power and cell reception have been cut, switching the building to emergency backup. Park Kwon-soo, intending to leave everyone trapped in Cloud 9, has cut the power to force the consortium's compliance with his demands. Kim Jae-ha, despite his injuries, abseils down the elevator shaft and pries open the door to Cloud 9. Choi Sun-won, learning that the bomb cannot be defused, rushes back to threaten Ko-an again, forcing the JSS agents to lift him up first. He shoots Kim Jae-ha in the leg and pushes Ko-an aside. With only minutes left, Kim Jae-ha limps back to Cloud 9. He urges Choi Eugene to leave, but she refuses. Bleeding and pale, she admits there's no escape for her and tells them to save Chief Kim and Ko-an. She also confesses that she was wrong, likely referring to her role in Ume Hai-rin's death. In a final moment, Kim Jae-ha tries to defuse the bomb but realizes it's impossible. He leads Jang Se-jun, Chief Kim, and Ko-an to the elevator. Jang Se-jun hesitates, showing genuine care for Choi Eugene, but she tells him to go. In a surprising turn, Jang Se-jun leaves the elevator to stay with Choi Eugene. He wants to lessen the impact of the explosion for those escaping. As the bomb counts down, Jang Se-jun embraces Choi Eugene. They share a bittersweet moment before the bomb detonates, destroying Cloud 9. The elevator goes into freefall, but the safety mechanisms kick in, saving Kim Jae-ha, Ko-an, and Chief Kim. After tense moments of silence, Ko-an and Kim Jae-ha confirm they are alive. With Choi Eugene and Jang Se-jun gone, Ko-an inherits their fortune and power, worrying the consortium. They believe she'll eventually seek a deal, but Ko-an is determined to reveal the truth. She ignores Kim Jae-ha's advice and releases the incriminating information from the memory card. Back in Spain, Kim Jae-ha and Ko-an embrace, sharing another kiss. Ko-an asks, "What's your real name, anyway?" Kim Jae-ha gets as far as saying "my real name is," before the story ends.